Hello, my loves, and welcome to this episode of the Mum Boss Method podcast. I hope you're well. As I'm recording this, it's 6:28 on Sunday evening. I've normally recorded my podcast a lot earlier than this, I'll be completely honest with you, but today I have spent my day making an afternoon tea and then hosting an afternoon tea for my lovely mother-in-law for her birthday on Wednesday, and I had my brother and sister-in-law and their partners round, and it was lovely. And that's actually what I want to talk to you about today, is how I've approached afternoon tea and some reflections on that. Now, afternoon tea is one of my favourite things to do. I just think it's all of the things that I love. Tea, cups and saucers, tiny little plates, little bits of cake, nice cute sandwiches, and it's pretty and it's cute and I love it. And you know, it's something that I just think is a real joy to spend time doing, and I have really enjoyed putting it all together and hosting it today. But I need to tell you something. I have goals, okay? I have really big goals at the moment, and something that I haven't really shared is that in May, the 17th of May, I think it's the 17th of May, yes, the 17th of May, I have a photo shoot. And so at the moment I am in a small calorie deficit. I'm working really hard on my body composition so that when I have that photo shoot, I am bringing the best version of me, and I'm really happy with the results of that photo shoot. So that means that an afternoon tea has to be approached with some thought and care. And I thought this would be a really good thing for us to talk about today, because there will be lots and lots of occasions that you have, whether it's going out for a dinner, or maybe you've got an afternoon tea, or it's someone's birthday, or you know, you've got an event to go to. And I wanted to share with you how I've approached this afternoon tea, and like I say, my reflections following the afternoon tea as well. Now, like I've already said, I love afternoon tea, and we have completely made everything for this afternoon tea from scratch at home. We didn't buy anything. None of the cakes were bought. None of the sandwiches were bought. We've made everything. So here's how I have approached it as a woman who is actively trying to lose body fat at the moment, but also wanted to enjoy this occasion with her family. So let me explain that through the whole of this week, I have made sure that my nutrition and my activity have been on point. Notice that I say on point, not perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect. But where I have been within my, I have been within my calories. And really, because I've been at home all week, there's not really an excuse for me not to have been within my calories all week. I have got over 10,000 steps every day. I've got all of my workouts in. I've got my cardio in. I've got my protein in, and I've been within calories every single day so far this week, because I wanted to enjoy this afternoon tea guilt-free. Now, in my coaching, we talk about hell yes meals, and afternoon tea is a hell yes meal for me, for sure. But although I'm having a hell yes meal today, I also don't want to be an absolute dick about it. Sorry for the language, but it's the truth, and it's what my coach said. Enjoy it, don't be a dick. And I use this concept of hell yes meals in my coaching, which is where you are having a meal, whether it's you're cooking it, it's being cooked for you, or you're going out for it, or you're getting a takeaway. It's your absolute favorite, and you are going to have what you want from that menu, and you are going to enjoy it. And that's fine, but there's a couple of kind of constraints or structural ways to approach this that mean you don't then just go so wild that you push the envelope of your calorie deficit or whatever your goals are and write off the whole week. Because whilst one meal shouldn't write off the whole week, believe me, one meal, one event, one night could write off the whole week, particularly if there's alcohol involved, particularly if there's high fat things involved, and lots of sugar, like an afternoon tea. So what have I done? Here's how I've just told you that for this week I have been sticking to my plans. I've controlled all of the controllables. All my workouts have been done, my steps have been done, and all my nutrition has been on point. So I've arrived at Sunday in a really good position for this afternoon tea. This morning I went to the gym and I got my cardio in. Didn't feel like going for a run today, so I did my cardio at the gym, and that wasn't me making room for this afternoon tea I was going to have today, because that's not what exercise is for. I would normally go for a run on Sundays. I would normally have a high cardio day on a Sunday. I just decided to go and do it at the gym today instead. So I got my cardio done this morning, came home and took the dog out for a walk. So by 10 a.m. I had hit all of my steps. Then I had a super high protein breakfast. So what did I have? I had some 0% Greek yogurt, I had some berries, I had some protein powder. So I think I hit something like 37 grams of protein for my breakfast, which I actually didn't have till about 10:30. And then I cracked on with finishing the rest of this afternoon tea. And one of the things that I made sure that I did was not dunk my spoon into mixtures and lick the batter and, you know, trim the edges of the sandwiches. I actually didn't trim the edges of the sandwiches because I think that's quite wasteful. And like eat the bits that had fallen out. I didn't do that. However, it got to about 1 o'clock and I thought, a little bit peckish, people aren't getting here till 2:30. What shall I do? I had a little bit of egg left over from that didn't fit into the sandwiches and some tuna, so I ate that and a piece of fruit. So by the time 2 p.m. came around, where everyone was arriving, and actually everyone was really on time, which was really surprising for my husband's side of the family because they're normally not. I was, you know, I wasn't starving, but I was feeling hungry enough that I could eat. So when it came to eating the afternoon tea, I picked the highest protein sandwiches that I had made. So I had a smoked salmon sandwich without the cream cheese. I avoided a lot of the high fat foods simply because they are so many more calories. So I had a smoked salmon and cream cheese. I had a chicken, I had an egg, and I had a tuna. So I only had 4 fingers of sandwiches, the equivalent of 1 sandwich, because if I was making myself a sandwich for lunch, I would just eat 1. I wouldn't eat 2. There's no need for me to go and eat 2 sandwiches just because it's an afternoon tea. So I had the equivalent of 1 sandwich and I picked the highest protein options. I stayed away from the cheese. I didn't have smoked salmon and cream cheese. I just had the highest protein options that I could. The one thing that I was hugely looking forward to on this afternoon tea was the scones. Don't know what to say, because I had made them myself. One of my clients gave me a recipe, and I've not made scones for a really long time, and I was really looking forward to having one of those. And I'd bought some clotted cream as well. So I had 1 scone. I had a really reasonable and not over the top smearing of clotted cream on there and a little dollop of jam, and I ate that and I drank my cup of tea, and I really enjoyed it. And that's the other thing that I did, is I really took my time over eating all of these items from this afternoon tea. I did not rush it. So I was really looking forward to those scones, and they were really good. I then had the smallest taste of everything else. So everything that I had made, you were able to cut into quite small pieces. So I made a lemon drizzled tray bake, which I cut into small cubes. I made brownies, which I cut into small cubes. So I picked the smallest cubes that I could of those two things and tried them. In fact, I didn't have brownie. I may have had a bit that fell off the edge of one. I didn't have a whole brownie square. And then my husband had made a carrot cake, and he makes delicious carrot cake. It's really hard to cut small, but I tried to cut the smallest slice of carrot cake that I could, and I enjoyed that again with a cup of tea. I've also drunk an ocean of water today, and I'm actually quite thirsty now, so I'm going to drink some more. And as I said already, I got my steps in this morning. So that's how I've approached. I don't feel like I've missed out on anything. I don't feel like I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, you made those brownies and you didn't have one. I'm not thinking anything like that. I felt content with what I'd had. I enjoyed it. And that's good enough for me. But just before I came on to recording this, I was having a little think about how I felt this afternoon. And I have to be really honest, I felt quite sluggish. I felt quite tired. Look, that could be because I've been on the go since 6 o'clock. I've been to the gym, and I have been really busy, and we were baking yesterday as well. But I didn't overdo it. I could have eaten so much more than I did, but I did feel quite sick. I feel quite full in my tummy still. And quite overly full, even though I spaced out that eating. I don't think I ate quickly, and I don't think I overate. And I am extremely tired, and I'm extremely thirsty, even though I think this is probably going to be litre 4 of water today. So here's my conclusion on that is I am not used to eating this much sugar, this much carby stuff, this little fruit and veg, because I haven't eaten much fruit and veg. Yep, there were some salady bits in the sandwiches, but I didn't have fruit and veg with that. I could have ordered a fruit platter or made a fruit platter, but to be honest, I sent Tom's family home with so many things. I've taken cake across to the neighbours in exchange for puppy cuddles. I've packed a bag for Tom's personal trainer, our friend Lewis, to have cake tomorrow when Tom goes to the gym, and there is still loads of cake. I could have eaten so much more, but I chose not to. But yeah, I feel really thirsty. I'm feeling really overly full, and I actually just can't wait to go to bed, take my makeup off and go to bed. And that's because I'm not used to eating that much carby stuff, that much sugar, so little fruit and veg. And so here's the thing that it just reinforces for me is I don't need to be eating an afternoon tea every weekend. I don't, one of the things that probably I would have done with an afternoon tea before is to have bought some Prosecco or some champagne and made it a bubbly afternoon tea. But I didn't, Tom had a drink. I haven't had a drink since the 1st of February, and I didn't need to have a drink today. And that certainly would have added even more calories to what I was eating. And probably not made me feel any better either. It's a Sunday night. I've got work tomorrow. I've got a big day tomorrow. So I am really pleased that I decided not to make it a bubbly afternoon tea. I would have been the only one drinking it anyway, I would have thought. But I don't need to be doing this every week. Not that I do, but given half the chance 8 years ago, I would have. I don't need to be eating like that every week. And actually, I enjoy eating these more treat, hell yes type meals if I eat them less often. And I want you to really think about this for yourself, because that's what my clients find, is that so often they enjoy these things if they have them less regularly, because it really feels special when they do, and it's so much more enjoyable. And I found the same thing to be true when I have takeaways, you know, when I go out for dinner, and also with drinking. You know, I'm really choosy about the times that I drink and when I eat these different meals, because I enjoy them so much more if I do that. So that's how I've approached afternoon tea. Like I said, I'm not in a massive calorie deficit at the moment, but I have got some very specific goals, and I've got less than 3 months to achieve them. So I do understand what it is like to have goals, and I just thought it would be really, really helpful for me to share how I've approached today. It's now 6:45. I don't think I'm going to eat. I'm going to just go up to bed. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to have a shower. I'm going to get into bed and read. Charlie said he's going to come and watch TV with me. So I'm just going to go and chill out, get an early night, which is what I need. And I wonder whether I'll feel a little bit sluggish tomorrow because of the amount of sugar I've had today. Who knows? I'm not demonizing sugar, by the way. It's just not normal for me to have eaten that much. But I did enjoy it. I'm glad I don't do this, you know, super regularly, because I just don't think I would enjoy it as much if I did. So I hope you found that useful. Don't forget, if you are listening to this and it is before the 24th or on the 24th of February, on the 24th of February at 8 p.m, I am doing a webinar, a live webinar, talking to you about how to get on the dance floor of your life in menopause. I would really love to see you there. Check the show notes for the link to join, and yeah, happy afternoon teaing next time you afternoon tea. Right, I'm gonna go. I'll speak to you later.